to go and meet everybody and be everybody's friend, and that far off distant boyfriend didn't care, kind of just gave up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that's really hard, and I understand the struggle that you're going through, trying to deal with it and trying to find a balance between him and everybody else,
Right.
and trying to work him into everything. So it's hard, and I understand that, and it's something a lot of people on campuses go through. So you're definitely not alone in this.
That's good.
You're not alone.
Makes me feel better.
And I'm sure you mentioned a guy that has a girlfriend elsewhere. I'm sure that he's having similar problems too, because it's not easy. It's not easy. Plus, there's a lot of growing that goes on during your college years.
Right.
So there's a lot for you to learn about you, and for your boyfriend to learn about him.
Mm-hmm.
So that has to happen too. And you can you'll do it together, you'll do it apart. What happens will happen. But I don't feel that it's right that you should cry every weekend over things. So have you, and I don't want to cause confrontation either, because that seems to be the source of the tears,
Right.
is the confrontation. So, do you have any other ideas of a way that you might address it or take action here?
I don't really know, because I've tried to talk to him about it, and I've tried to be, explain things to him and sort of show him what life's like here for me and that kind of thing. And I think our hardest thing is we were so used to being together all the time. We went to the same high school, so we were used to being together all the time. And when I wasn't participating in my sport or he wasn't in his, we were always together and that kind of thing. And we saw each other every day. So I think that it's hard for us not seeing each other every day. But I also feel like I was completely ready to leave high school and he wasn't.
Okay.
So I wonder if that's part of it too, is like he's okay staying in that, like, I'm going to hang out with football guys and I'm going to do this and that's what I'm going to do. Where I'm here and I'm more than happy to be here. I was ready for college like my junior year. I was ready to be done and be in college and not deal with the high school drama anymore, and I feel like I'm still stuck in the high school drama.
Okay. So you may have already grown beyond the world that he's living in.
Right.
Okay. And that's hard to adapt to, and I think sometimes, whether it is age or gender or whatever, people adapt at a different rate. And especially if he's going to school closer to home, he can be more in that safety bubble of home.
That's true.
And not moving beyond things. I know you're a pretty good distance from home. And so that kind of forces you
Right.
to
Right.
to kind of grow up a little bit.
Yeah. He's kind of a similar distance from home that I am from being here, but he's in that football mentality. He went from one football team basically to another, so it's that same sort of mentality, I think.
Same kind
just
of guys.
Just a little harder, just a little more work. Where I've come here and I just have completely started new. Like, didn't know anybody when I came here. Didn't know,
Did you like that?
I did. I came here, for the program that I wanted, but I also came here because I didn't know anybody that was going to this school, and I wanted to be able to branch out from where I went to school and when I was home, and the people that were there, so that I could kind of move on from that.
Okay, so you want to branch out, you want to move on, but you kind of have an anchor
Yes.
in the old world.
Yes. My mom kind of calls him my 265-pound weight.
Okay. That's a very specific term for it, but
yes.
I like it.
He's my weight.
Mom's kind of on point.
Yeah. as much as I don't want to admit it.
As they usually are. Moms are usually very
yes,
on point.
They are.
Okay, so you have as your weight holding you back here when you want to move on. Where do you see that going? What is your goal for you in the next 4 years of college?
My goal for me is to graduate and get a teaching job and not go back home, but stay in this area or stay, not necessarily going back to my hometown. His goal 4 years from now is to be playing football. I'm going to be there 5th year, he always tells me, because I was redshirted, so I'm going to have 5 years. So I'm still going to be playing football. So it's kind of like he expects me to work around what he's going to be doing.
How does that make you feel?
It's not really what I want to do. I want to get my own job. I've always dreamed of teaching. I've always dreamed of going to school and getting my degree and being able to teach, and I don't want to have to wait around just because that's that's what he thinks I should do. Or
And that seems pretty realistic for you. You kind of strike me as very goal-driven and someone who knows what she wants and is going to go get it. So I think ultimately for you, this has to come from you. Whatever you decide to do with your relationship, whether you want to stick it out and make it work, whether you take a break for a while, whether you try to be friends again, whatever you want to do is going to come from you. No one's going to be able to tell you
right,
what to do.
right. And we've talked about taking a break and trying to be friends, and he has straightforward told me, if we're not together, we won't be friends. I'll hate your guts if we're not together. Like, if I'm not dating you, I'm gonna hate you, kind of thing. And we won't be friends. There's no way we're gonna be friends.
How did you react to that?
I didn't really know how to react to that. But I've seen it happen because when we broke up in high school, that's exactly what happened. He stopped talking to me. He made me cry during class one day just from being, like making side comments and that kind of thing. And that's just how he is. He's very loud and very in your face, kind of. And I'm not a big fan of, like, confrontation. I'm not, like, just let me go about my business and do what I need to do. And so I completely believe him that if we were to break up, we wouldn't speak again. He'd hate my guts. Until I came back and wanting him to.
How does that make you feel about your relationship? If those are your extremes.
Right, it's one extreme or the other. It's a very extreme relationship. It's either this or it's that, and which is unfair to both of us, I think, because we started out as friends before we started dating. So it's kind of like, okay, so we're going to completely nix the last 4 years of being together. I mean, off and on together, but just because we don't date anymore, which doesn't make any sense.
And it is hard to be friends with people you've broken up with, at least for a while. I understand that. That's the nature of a relationship. It has its ups and downs, but to say that he would hate you, that's pretty extreme.
He's very extreme about it.
And for someone who should care a lot about you, just to start hating you is
right. I love you, but if you break up with me, I'm gonna hate you. Which doesn't make any sense. You can't turn that on now.
Right.
We shouldn't be able to turn that on.
Not that quickly.
Right.
Not that quickly. So if you were to, and just think about this, come up with some goals for him, things that maybe you would like to see him strive toward in your relationship, and just think about it for a while, and then the next time we talk, we'll think about his goals, and then maybe what you want to see out of a relationship. Maybe not this relationship, but just a relationship, your ideal date.
Okay.
Not like Miss Congeniality, but your perfect